Now then, the deadline has passed for protesters opposed to fracking to leave land near Chester they have been occupying illegally.
Yeah, bailiffs now have permission to evict more than 100 protesters who've been camped on the site at Upton for more than 18 months, as Ralph Blunson reports.
They call it the Upton Community Protection Camp. It's the longest established anti-fracking site in the northwest. From 4 o'clock this afternoon, its days were numbered. Protesters first arrived here more than 18 months ago to oppose plans by the energy company IGas to drill an exploratory borehole searching for coal bed methane. Protesters here say they will offer peaceful opposition to any planned eviction. Organisers say there are more than 100 protesters based here at this camp. They say they are expecting this number to increase dramatically over the next few days. They say any plan to evict them would be both complicated and would take a very long time.
We're not going to fight them, we'll do a peaceful resistance of just chaining ourselves to objects and just making it as hard as possible to shift. And there's going to be a significant number of people that they'll have to move on, and they'll have to consider whether they really want to do that when you're dealing with members of the local community that are here trying to save their environment.
That eviction can happen at any time. IGas has issued a statement about what's happening here. The company says, "We respect the right to peaceful protest. However, it has been made clear to the protesters they are on our site illegally and without consent. We expect the protesters to cease occupation and leave peacefully." Organisers at the camp say there will be no violence, but they're determined to make things difficult for the bailiffs when they arrive.
This site is really important in the bigger picture of fracking in the whole country. I was here last year and I lived here for about 8 months. And this is sort of the first site where we took the land before the drilling company could get the land. And what happens here will affect what happens in the rest of the UK. If they're allowed to frack in this area, it makes it easier for them to frack in other areas of the country.
It's thought the eviction could begin as early as tomorrow, when it's expected protesters here will be joined by the fashion designer and anti-fracking campaigner Vivienne Westwood. Ralph Blunson, ITV News, Cheshire.